There is a village beneath a lake in Wales. You cannot visit it, but sometimes, when the water drops low enough in a dry summer, you can see it. The old road appears. The ruins of the chapel emerge. The stone walls of homes surface from the water. And for a few days before the rain comes back, you can see what was taken. The village was called Capel Celyn. 70 people lived there. They spoke Welsh. They farmed the same land their parents had farmed. They buried their dead in the chapel graveyard. And in 1965, the British government flooded it, not because of a natural disaster, because the city of Liverpool needed more water. The people of Capel Celyn did not want to go. Every single Welsh Member of Parliament voted against it. It did not matter. The English MPs outvoted them, and the village was drowned. To understand what happened at Capel Celyn, you have to understand Wales in 1955. Wales had been joined to England politically since 1536. Welsh people had their own language, their own culture, their own identity. But they had no separate parliament. Their laws were made in Westminster, by a parliament where English MPs outnumbered Welsh MPs by more than 10 to 1. Capel Celyn sat in the Tryweryn Valley in Gwynedd, North Wales. It was a Welsh-speaking community. The village had a post office, a chapel, a school, and a community hall. Families had lived there for generations. The graveyard held the bodies of their ancestors. It was one of the last purely Welsh-speaking communities in the country. In 1955, the Liverpool Corporation submitted a private bill to Parliament. They wanted to flood the Tryweryn Valley to create a reservoir. The reservoir would supply water to the growing city of Liverpool. The bill was straightforward. It named Capel Celyn specifically. It would drown the village, the chapel, the graveyard, the farms, the school. Everything. 35 Welsh local authorities objected. Every Welsh MP voted against it. Welsh people wrote thousands of letters to Parliament. They held demonstrations in Liverpool and London. One person attempted to sabotage the dam construction site. None of it made any difference. The bill passed, not because of the Welsh vote, because English MPs voted for it. In the House of Commons, when the final vote was held, the Welsh representatives were simply outnumbered. Their country, their valley, their village, and they had no power to stop it. The dam began construction in 1960. The residents of Capel Celyn were given notice to leave. They received compensation. But there was no replacement village. There was no equivalent land. There was money, and then there was nothing. 70 people dispersed across Wales and England. A community that had existed for centuries, scattered in months. In October 1965, the dam was complete. The Tryweryn Valley began to fill. The water rose slowly, first over the fields, then over the road, then over the doorsteps, then over the walls, then over the rooftops. By the time the reservoir was full, Capel Celyn was gone. 28 homes, a chapel, a school, a post office, a graveyard the bodies exhumed and reburied elsewhere, all of it underwater. The flooding of Capel Celyn changed Wales. The phrase Cofiwch Tryweryn was painted on a rock in Ceredigion by a Welsh nationalist. It means, remember Tryweryn. That painted phrase became one of the most recognized political statements in Welsh history. It is still there today. The drowning of Capel Celyn is credited by historians as one of the key events that galvanized the modern Welsh nationalist movement. It eventually contributed to the establishment of the Welsh Assembly in 1999, a democratic parliament that Wales had not had since the 1400s. In 2005, 40 years after the flooding, Liverpool City Council issued a formal apology. They said they were sorry for the hurt caused to the Welsh-speaking community. No one from Capel Celyn was still alive to hear it. Llyn Celyn Reservoir has been there since 1965. In dry summers, when the water level drops, things appear. The old road surfaces. Stone walls emerge. The outline of the community hall becomes visible. People who were born in Capel Celyn have visited. They have walked the old road as it briefly reappears above the waterline. And then the rain returns, and it disappears again. I have thought about this story for a long time, and I have come to 3 possible conclusions. First conclusion: the flooding of Capel Celyn was a legitimate democratic decision. Liverpool needed water. A parliamentary process was followed. Compensation was paid. The needs of a large city outweighed the needs of a small rural community. This happens in democratic societies. It is difficult, but it is legal, and it was done legally. Second conclusion: the process was democratic in name only. Wales had no devolved parliament. Welsh MPs were a tiny minority at Westminster. Every elected representative of Welsh people voted against it, and it happened anyway. That is not democracy for the people of Wales. It is democracy for England, applied to Wales. Third conclusion: Capel Celyn was not about water. It was about power. The power of one nation over another, expressed through the machinery of a shared parliament. The water was the excuse. The lesson is older than Tryweryn. I do not know which conclusion is correct. Perhaps all of them are. But here is what I do know. Somewhere in North Wales, beneath a reservoir, there is a road, and a chapel wall, and the outline of a school, and in dry summers, they come back. For a few days, Capel Celyn surfaces, and the people who were born there, or whose parents were born there, sometimes go to look. They stand at the waterline. They look at what their village has become. And when the rain returns, they watch it disappear again. That is the story of Capel Celyn, a story about democracy, identity, and the things that are taken when you have no power to stop them. Was it legal? Yes. Was it right? Leave your answer in the comments. Subscribe to VeilStory. Every week we lift the veil on the stories that history tried to leave underwater. See you in the next video.